Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2024. Last time we finished the postseason of Season 5, and we also had the rookie draft, and we did pretty good, actually. We drafted Sean Little with the 21st pick, who's a potential three-star player, and we drafted, I'm fogging on his name this morning, there's Sean Little. And we also drafted Mark Preston, who is a 1.5 potential two. Yes, with the 51st pick. So actually pretty good because most most of the drafts we've done so far, um, once you get to the second round, there's a lot of one-star guys with a potential one-star. So to get a guy who's actually a potential two in the second round seems to be pretty good for what you'd expect. And Sean Little looks like he could actually be a pretty decent player. He's kind of a raw prospect, but if he grows into that potential, not bad at all for the 21st pick. And we're on the contracts phase right now. We've already decided on this, I do believe. We extended Aaron Fortson's contract. We extended George Parker's contract. I've already given Sean Little the third year of his contract. So here's where things are looking right now. And you think it looks okay. There's some potential here. We have some money to work with when it comes to free agency. So we're going to go ahead and advance. And if this video is cut short briefly, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I'm waiting on a ride to go into town and get some errands done this morning. And they're supposed to be here in about 50 minutes, I'd say. And if they're here early, I may have to stop the video early, but hopefully we can get through an entire video's worth of content. And yeah, I don't like these in-season tournaments, honestly, so I'm just going to click no in-season tournament. And now we can invite players to our summer league. And this is the one thing, honestly, I really don't care about the summer league. I wish you could skip this portion. Here we go. Just going to invite who I can. Surprised George Parker is still an option. He's been playing for a while now, 3 years. And he's pretty good, so I don't understand. I don't want to complain about it though, no big deal. I am going to let the computer take over this portion because I really don't care. Okay, this should be decided now, and I will immediately go and turn this back off. And now we can simulate through and see what happens. I mean, I am kind of curious to see how the rookies do that you draft, but Sean Little with 25 points in that game. This is not even a fair way to judge them because they're not playing against uh, the competition they'll be playing against when the regular season starts. This is all people relatively on the same playing field. The superstars of the game aren't in the summer league, so you're not really getting a fair showing of these guys against top competition. But it is a little curious to see. You see George Parker led in rebounds. I did not mean to click that. Mark Preston was second in blocks. So we actually may have a good rim protector in Mark Preston. We'll see how he does. I don't really expect to keep him past the season, but we do have some free agency here to do, and we will go ahead and start on that. We have 2 point guards, 1 2 guard, 1 small forward, 2 power forwards, and 2 centers. So I do think we could always play Parker at the 4 and Sean at the 5, or turn it around, Sean at the 4, Parker at the 5. We don't necessarily need a 4. If we went with the starting lineup of Voskuhl, Fortson, Crowley, Parker, and Little, that's a pretty decent starting lineup. So what I would like to do, I do think we need another 2 guard and another 3. We don't necessarily maybe we can get a 2, a 3, and a 4. And that would give us 11 players. And then we can try to re-sign Rich that was on the team last season. It was a really good 3-point shooter that you can get for a minimum contract. Maybe that's the way to go here. We have 35 million to work with. Looks like I don't want to spend all that on one player. So I think we can probably shy away from Pinckney and Bennett and Brown. Probably, I'd say most likely we would even shy away from these. There's 2 4-star players. Probably should start looking. I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name. Monfrey. Let's have a meeting with Monfrey here. Well, we do have 2 3.5-star players. We can promise that. He says we're really close, but he does want 27 million. But is that per year? I think that is per year. Yeah, that would be per year. I don't know whether I want to spend 27 million on one player either, honestly. I would like to Reggie Taylor. Why does this name sound familiar? He never played for us, but that name sounds. Maybe I'm thinking of Robert Traylor that played in the NBA. Rest in peace. Let's look at Reggie Taylor. Here, let's have a meeting with him. Gosh, he wants 34 million. Yeah, I don't want to spend all that money on one guy. Let's look at Brian Pondexter. Yeah, all these guys are asking for. Maybe we should knock it down to 3-star players. Let's see. Let's you can promise a building block. We are in consideration though. He wants 21 million. You know, that's not the worst offer. Let's do 17. $17 million for 4 years. The 4% raise. Honestly, we could put, if we can get Rich back for a minimum, we could put him at the 2. So let's look for a 3. There's a Craig Richardson here and a Charles Whitney. Let's look at Craig Richardson. He wants 22 million. And we can't know what. Let's just try to land Ben Matthew for right now. Let's run one day. Hopefully we can have some more meetings. He's at least considering it, so that's good. Let's try to have a meeting with Charles Whitney. He wants 22 million. Let's look at Jason Reed. He wants 19 million. So let's say that we have, if Ben Matthew takes his offer, we would have about we would have 18 million left. So if we offer, I honestly feel almost like this is, what is a mid-level exception? Maybe I can get somebody for that. I don't know if anybody would want to sign for a mid-level exception, but let's try it. He is at least considering it, so that's pretty interesting. Hey, we could get Josh Howard back that played for us season before last and did really well. He averaged 19 a game for us season before last. I would definitely be on board for re-signing this guy. We could offer him heck, I'd be willing to go 8 million. for 3 years. 5% raise. Oh, okay. Well, we'll do a 4% raise. Let's talk to him. Hey man, how's it going? He says we have a lot of ground to make up, but we're going to try it anyway. I would kind of like to know the decision on one of these guys before looking somewhere else. Okay, that has nothing to do with any of the guys we're looking at. And they are all at least considering what's being offered. So I want to run this until they decide because I would like to know before making any other decisions. Because I think I want to try to just build a team of solid players. Maybe we don't need a superstar, but we'll have a strong bench. Parker and Parker and Fortress or Fortson can be our star players, if anything. Well, it looks like Toronto signs Josh Howard, so we can kind of squash getting Josh Howard back. These two are at least still considering. So we can throw another offer out to somebody. Can we go ahead and wrap up Terry Rich? He wants to sign with Phoenix, but man, because we signed him for the minimum last year. He's still got that 100 3-point rating. Here's George Cullen, who was once a part of our team that we traded, and we can see that, I don't know, man, a 3-star player, I don't know if he's living up to that. Looks like he's efficient for the most part. But I don't know, 5.6 points per game. Still would like to see on Ben Matthew or Jason Reed. Oh. Well, Terry Rich does not want to sign for the minimum. So we can wait until free agency's over. Hopefully he's still available. Maybe we could use another point guard. We don't have Mitchell anymore. Tyler Kitt's not all that great. How do we still have Tyler Kitt, by the way? I thought his contract ran out. Let's look at the point guards available. Let's try to get somebody that won't turn the ball over. We've had so many turnover problems. Okay, I don't know if we can afford a 3.5-star player. There's another 3.5-star player. Here's a 2-star Chris Hahn Laundrum. Or we could get George Cullen back. I mean, as a backup, point guard, he might not be bad to have back. Let's have a meeting with George Cullen. We can always promise the building block as long as we have Fortson and Parker. He says we're close. He wants 20 million. We can't offer him 20 million. That's a lot of money for that dude, honestly. Again, I'd offer 8 million. Is this wrong? Did I just offer him 80 million? I think I offered him 80 million. I did offer him 80 million. Okay. Let's go again. He probably turned it down. He did turn it down. I can't justify spending 20 million on that kid. Would like to have another point guard. Werner and Whitmore are at least really good ball handlers. They're not exactly prolific passers. Neither of them can really hit threes all that great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut my video short. My round will be here soon. I can maybe do 5 more minutes, but I can try to upload again tomorrow. Are there any like really good 3-point shooting point guards? There's a Jabari Morton who's a really good 3-point shooter. His court IQ is not bad. Still has some potential to grow. Again, let's do 8. For 2 years, 4% raise. We will run this decision and either I'll upload this video and make it a part 1 of free agency, or I'll make the rest of this video later today and upload maybe an entire video for free agency. Hey, we signed Ben Matthew to a 4-year contract. All right. We are back and we have signed Ben Matthew, and it is a whole day later. I'm recording this part. Yesterday, time kind of got away from me. Had an unexpected, pretty cool thing happen. As I've mentioned many times, I live here in Eastern Kentucky, and just so happened yesterday, um, it was completely unexpected. I did not know this was happening when I was recording the first half of this video yesterday, but Jack Givens was in town, who played in the NBA a couple of years back in the early 80s, I think, very early 80s. And was also color commentator for the Orlando Magic for a long time, and now does the commentary for the Kentucky Wildcats on the radio. And I got to meet him yesterday, and I've read his book, and he signed the copy I have of his book for me, so that was pretty cool. And by the time I got home from everything, I just other things to do. I did not get to record the rest of the video, so we're finishing it now. I'm going to try to get through the whole rest of this off season to the beginning of next season, and it shouldn't take that long. We've already got some free agency finished, so I do want to see what either of these guys will do before I do anything else. Because if we can get these two guys on, we'll have 11 players, and then they'll leave one spot left, and we'll be well under the cap. So the owner should be happy. And we can save that last spot for Terry Rich if we're going to bring him back. And yeah, that's the plan, I think, for right now. And we don't really have any superstar, whoa, any superstar players. We do get Jabari Morton, I see here, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think we only got Jabari Morton, unfortunately, but that does give us another player. And we've still got 10 million to work with. Jabari Morton is a two-star point guard. I think we need either a 2 or a 3. And we can use up to about, I'd say 6 or 7 million. Okay, so haven't we talked to Charles Whitney once already? I think that we did. I don't think that he. Well, 12 million is not that far out of our range. Only thing, I don't know, he's not, um, I don't know if he fits really. Like he's a good inside shooter. His passing is not great. I'm trying to figure out ways to cut down on turnovers. Hmm. There's a Roger Spears here who has a really good 3-point rating. He's not a great passer, but he's probably a guy who doesn't pass the ball a lot. You see, he was a great player several seasons ago. He's a really good 3-point shooter. Yeah, that's definitely a guy that we could use. Okay, does he? Let's try to talk to Roger Spears. He wants 11 million, which is not too far out of our range. Let's use him as a building block. He says we have a lot of ground to make up, but I want to make him an offer anyway. Let's do 7.5 million. We'll just do 1 year. We'll see what he says. If nothing else, we should have a strong bench, I think. Hey, we signed Roger Spears for 7.5 million. That's pretty cool. And we still have 2 million to work with. And you know what? I think that's going to be it for us. So we have 11 players, and we can hopefully sign Terry Rich to the minimum once we get to the regular season, if he's still available. If he's not available, then I'll try to get some kind of two guard that might add something. Okay. We need to look at contracts again. Let's go here. I'm still surprised. Was Terry, or sorry, Tyler Kidd, he was a first round pick. So in my mind, for some reason, I was thinking he was a second round pick. So that's why we have him for the second season here. Okay, definitely not going to extend any farther on him or Mark Preston, really. We've already given Sean Little his 3rd year. I guess we'll see how he does, but it's pretty likely I'll give him a 4th year pretty soon. We'll just leave Kenny Daniels and Roger Spears the way they. These are rookie options anyway, so there really are no other rookies. So yeah, that looks pretty much what we want. We'll keep going. It's now time for training camp. Um, I usually give it to the rookie I sign in the first round, so we'll give it to Sean Little. Focus on centers. Okay, now it's time to assign scouting points and players to the D League. And I'm forgetting where scouting is even at. Uh, Go back and read the email. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Draft scouting. It's right there. Okay, here we go. Okay. Before we do that, though, I just remember we leveled up and I did not upgrade the skills. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now we can do this. Okay. So that actually gives us a few more points to work with. Um, yeah, I definitely like the overrated, underrated thing on the deep dive. So I'm definitely going to do the deep dive on United States players. Definitely want to do the quick ranking on both. We'll do the basic ratings for U.S. players. And I guess we'll do a scouting report on that. I feel like I don't focus on the international players, but we haven't seen a lot of international players. You can see over here we have two, really. Joshua Bacon and Micah Viduka. But most of them are U.S. players. So there's a greater chance that that's what we'll end up drafting. So I want to know the player I'm drafting, surely. Maybe we can do this down here. And that'll give us a little bit more on the international players. But I definitely like this deep dive on the U.S. players. At least we can get a quick ranking on both sides. So that's probably the best way to balance that, considering who we may likely end up drafting. I have no idea how this team will be. Hopefully it will be good. For a good one, I want to worry about those top 400 picks. I'm just going to skip by all this D-League stuff. Actually, I just realized that that may have been last year's draft class, because the current draft class for next season is being generated right now. So Okay, and now we're here at season 6. But before I end the video, I'm going to go ahead and end it, not play any games today. I just got a lot on my plate to get done today. I am going to fill up this last roster spot. You have 11 players, I believe, yes. 12 required, so we need to assign one more player. I'm hoping Terry Rich is still available. Right there he is. Let's bring him back. And that keeps us below, just barely below the salary cap. Yes, right up here. You can see we have $422,000 below the cap. So we do not go over the cap. And that's about as close as you can get with the way these contracts work without going over. So I think we've done pretty well. We don't have any big star players unless you count Fortson and Parker. But those are both really good players still that we've kind of tried to build around. We have some shooters. You see, we have 3 shooters ranked 85 or above. We have 5 shooters ranked 70 or above. So we have shooters. Don't have the greatest defense. Probably still want to struggle in turnovers. But you know what? At the end of the day, we have 2 3.5-star players, 3 3-star players, and 2 2.5-star players. So we're going to have a pretty good starting lineup and a pretty good bench, I think. What does our depth chart look like? So here's what things look like. Voskuhl, Fortson, Crowley, Ben Matthew, and George Parker as the starting lineup, with Sean Little, Roger Spears, and Jabari Morton getting most of the minutes off the bench. And then we have Mark Preston, Kenny Daniels, Tyler Kitt, and Terry Rich to sort of end the bench there for injuries. And I'm really, really, really going to try hard not to sign any other players because our owner is really a stickler about money, and I think there may have been some disapproval of being $10 million over the salary cap last season. So, what's the 4 factors? What does this mean? Probably have to play some games before we see what that means. Okay, I think that ends this video. Looks like we have an 85% chance to beat Philadelphia. So at least we're better than them probably, which is comforting to think that we're at least better than somebody. And with all that, We'll see you next time.